One of my favorite things to talk about is a diminished arpeggio and using the diminished arpeggio scales, chords, all the stuff that is related to the world of diminished. So what I want to do now is I want to show you a few ways to play the diminished arpeggio, and then I want to show you how to apply it over a dominant chord to make it sound more dominant and less diminished. Here we go. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take and we're going to play an A7, and then we're going to go to the major third right here. And right at that point is where you're going to play the diminished arpeggio. So if you notice with your ear, it kind of works. It sounds a little more tense than a dominant arpeggio, but it actually works really well. So what I want to do is I want to take a horizontal dominant arpeggio from earlier and compare it and see what's different. Here we go. Okay, so if you look at that, here's what it looks like when you start on the major third with a diminish. Very close to this. The only difference is the flat 9 that the diminish makes you play. Okay, so here's an example of how to blend the two. Check this out. Slow. Pretty cool sounding, right? It's much cooler than your typical dominant arpeggio or your diminished arpeggio. It's kind of a blend of both, right? If you truly blend the two, here's what it creates. That's a super cool lick right there. Okay, so what that is you're actually taking a major triad, moving it up in tritones. Here's a more complex version of that. I just went to the 4 right there. I just basically outlined the 4 of the dominant arpeggio. That's a D7. So once again, the more complex version of that is super cool, by the way. To me, it just sounds awesome. I would say that the general summary of this lesson is to know that you can use a diminished off the major third of a dominant chord and it's not going to sound as Yngwie Malmsteen, or it's not going to sound as classically oriented, which that stuff is fantastic, but for me, I don't want to be very predictable with my playing. So even if it sounds a little weird to the listener, that's fine with me, as long as it's not a bunch of gibberish, and as long as they listen to it more than once, because that's a telltale sign that they like what you're doing.